things from a slightly medium to longer term perspective. Mitessh, good to have you back. Thank you very much. What should we start with? Should we start with indices or should we start with specific stock ideas?
So Prashant, my sense is that I think, let's take the index first. I think there's something which is very important, which could possibly happen on the charts of Nifty. We plot some moving averages on the monthly charts. Now, monthly charts typically will see a crossover of moving averages once every few years. The last time, we got a monthly crossover on the Nifty on the positive side was, if you look back at about 7-8 years of history, the one we got was in 2016 May, when the markets rallied from sub 8,000 levels to about 12,000 odd levels before the COVID thing happened. Then we got a negative crossover. And post-COVID, we got a positive crossover of averages, which was in August, September of 2020, which saw the index rally from 10,800 levels to about 18,500-600 levels on the upside. Now, I think, we are in the fear of recording a negative crossover of averages on the monthly charts. It hasn't happened as yet, but the short-term averages started declining with a good velocity from the higher levels and could possibly, if we don't reclaim 17,500 very soon, could possibly see a negative crossover happen. If that happens, then I think we are looking at a good correction which could evolve in the next 4 to 6 months, and the index could possibly revisit the lowest monthly closing, which ended in June 22, which is about 15,780. And maybe even 15,250, which was the weekly closing. So I think the markets will be under pressure until we start getting past 17,400, 500 in the short term, and that looks slightly on the unlikely side. So I'm possibly betting that rallies close to about 17,200 would be good chances to build upon to your short positions. Take a 300 point kind of a stop loss, and there's a good chance of a positional move of around 1,500 points on the downside.
Okay, all right. Okay, Mitessh, took note of that. We need to cross that 17,200 to 17,500. Otherwise, there's a risk of a sharp correction by close to 1,000 to around 1,500 points. Let's talk about a couple of other indices. The auto index. How are things shaping up out there on the charts? What's it appearing like?
So, Nigel, I think the reason I picked up auto index is that, when I was worrying about the Nifty going into corrective mode, I was wondering which sector possibly could, be one of the weakest and could underperform the overall index. And the Nifty Auto came on the top of that list. I think, the Nifty Auto stocks, if you look at the individual charts or the Nifty Auto index itself, looks like, possibly they've played out a good up move and now are on the risk of, going through some kind of a significant pullback or a correction. To my understanding, I think the Nifty Auto index could, possibly see a decline to about levels of 11,700 to begin with. That is the minimum which I'm penciling. So that's not very far away from here. 600, 700 is only about 500 points. But more logically, if you look at it, I think the March 22 monthly closing low of 10,550, I think that's the logical target for the Nifty Auto Index, which means that the Nifty Auto Index could itself correct by about 14-15% from here, and therefore broadly underperform the broad markets and also put pressure on the Nifty as well. So I think the Nifty Auto stocks, and I've in the coming segment I've highlighted some stocks which are components of the Nifty Auto, which are also looking when the long-term charts are weakening a lot and could go through a significant kind of a correction.
Why don't you highlight one of them, Mitessh?
I'll take two. In fact, Prashant, I've recommended two stocks, which possibly are looking the weakest amongst the auto lot, and they are Maruti and Ashok Leyland. Now, if you look at the monthly chart of Maruti or Ashok Leyland, let's start with Maruti first. We got a monthly closing of about 94.70 in December of 17, and then a closing of 92.70 with an intraday high of around 96.60 in July of 18. I think those same levels were revisited when the Maruti stock price made a high of 97.70, but a monthly closing of around 95.30 on the in the October of 22. So I think basically we've got between 95.50, 96.50, we've got about multiple highs when the stock prices fail to record a monthly closing above that. And now what we are seeing is that post this October high, the stock price of Maruti is now getting into a weakening mode, with the momentum indicators now turning negative, expanding on the downside. The averages also started to declining. I think this could be a significant underperformer. Minimum target of 7,500 here, which I think is about 8-10% of correction, but a more logical target of 7,000 is what I'm looking at, which was the monthly closing low in October 21. I think that level could be revisited. So Maruti one stock, which will definitely possibly go through very tough times in the next 4 to 5 months.
And you have
The other one, sorry, I'll just cover that as well.
Ashok
Yeah,
Leyland. Yeah.
was Ashok Leyland. Again, look at the charts in 2018. We got a monthly closing of 153 in April 18, and we got a monthly closing of 154 in August of 22. So it made a similar high with the indicators weakening, because this entire rally, which culminated in August, had started from levels of 36, 37 levels post-COVID, and this entire rally now seems to be getting over. And the indicators have turned southward and are clearly expanding on the negative side, which means that the stock price has lost momentum. It's likely to give a stronger or a medium-term pullback on the monthly charts. And I'm penciling in targets of around 115, 110 as the minimum target for the stock. The stock made a monthly closing low of 116 in March of 22, and I think that level should be revisited. So about 115, 110 is what I'm broadly looking at the stock to do. It could do worse, but I think for the time being, we'll keep that as the target, giving roughly about 18, 19% kind of a downside from here.
Got it. Mitessh, we're out of time, but I know you have two other names, BPCL and IOC in focus, so maybe we pick on those a little later. For now, we have to wrap it up. Thank you very much for bringing and highlighting these interesting chart setups for our viewers, as always. Thank you. 55 points on the Nifty. We are at 17,043. We'll take a very quick break here. Manisha joins in with a quick wrap-up of all the commodity market action. Stay tuned, coming up.